I'm very nervous. Oh, there it goes.
Hey, all you beautiful people again. We are back with another episode. This week we are with Rob. Rob is going to show us a little bit about drones this week. Today's topic is drones. So we're going to get a little bit of Rob's backstory and how he got into real estate photography and how he joined Shutter Zone Media. And we're going to find out how he got in photography in general. So I'm excited to get into Rob's story today. Let's get into it. Rob, I told the folks that you're going to start with an inspiring quote.
If you go through life without any scars, you've led a very boring life.
What did Rob do before Rob got into photography?
Up until Shutter Zone, Rob spent his entire adult life working in medicine, emergency medicine, clinical medicine. We'd start when I was 19. I joined the Navy as a hospital corpsman, and then Saddam Hussein decided to invade Kuwait, and I volunteered to be a Marine hospital corpsman during the Gulf War. After the Gulf War, came back to the States, got my paramedic license, got my EMT license, then my paramedic license, did the military thing, got out, became a firefighter paramedic. Due to an injury, I had to retire from being a firefighter, kept my paramedic license, worked as a high school school nurse. And then after about 30 years of medicine, I decided enough was enough, and I was going to jump into what my passions were, which is drawing, painting, art, and photography. I was going to jump in with both feet, come hell or high water. I was going to figure out how to make a business out of it. A friend of mine, Jill LeCount, had asked me if I'd be interested in learning how to do real estate photography. I was like, sure. So she got me in touch with Casey, and the rest is history.
Here's a funny story. Well, how many drones have you crashed?
One.
And how did you crash it?
It just went up into the trees. The battery had run out and it wanted to go home. So the first thing it wanted to do was elevate to go home. And it went right up into the tree limbs and dropped.
That was how I crashed my first drone. And you know, there's a mode in there. You can tell it to just hover. And then you can tell it when you want it to go home. If you guys have drones and you have DJI product, you know, make sure to change your settings. How did your other drone get crashed?
It was, I had let you borrow it for whatever reason. A prop let loose while you had it, and it was about 100.
I didn't do anything.
No,
I literally
shit
was.
happened.
I mean,
man.
It was in the middle of the air.
Shit
and
happened.
It just.
And the prop let loose.
Yeah, the prop let loose, and I just watched the thing fall out of the sky. And I had to use your drone because I was doing something for HDTV, and they had to shoot something in 29.97 frames per second.
I needed to go to that complex there. It'd be a condo, so something tells me drone ain't happening. However, I might drone from the outside just to get an exterior.
I'm with Todd Weichert, and Todd, I'm going to put the clock up real quick because we're going to do the 60-second of how Todd got into real estate. Get into it, Todd. How did you get into real estate?
Awesome. Jeff, my wife, and I were managing apartment buildings, one in the east side and one in Whitefish Bay. And we decided, we had so much fun doing it, that we would help people buy houses. So she entered the business in 97, I followed closely thereafter in 99, and we've been making a go of this wonderful business ever since.
Someone wants to get a hold of you and they want to book with you as your realtor. What do they need to do? How can they find you?
All they need to do is give me a ring on my phone, 414-550-6426, and I'll be happy to help them however I can.
Get a hold of Todd, he's awesome. Rob, what are you doing?
I am staging, for lack of a better term. I'm going through making sure all the lights are on so that we have good lighting, proper aperture, just to help make the room pop.
There's a camera over here. And Rob, what are you doing? Getting out of the shot?
I'm getting out of the shot, and what I'm doing is I'm going to shoot it remotely. So my camera is actually a Bluetooth camera connected to my phone, and so I'm actually able to see what the camera sees
set up the focus, hit it. I'm out of the shot because I've got the camera so far back in the corner that I can't stand in there with it. I used to do a lot of pub ed, public education. We go into the schools and everything. And it was my job to go in and talk to all these kids. And I would introduce myself. My name is Fireman Rob. You know, and for those of you that speak Spanish, mi amo es Loco Bombero. And the Spanish kids would find it funny. And the non-Spanish speaking kids would look around like, what'd you just say? What was that? Loco Bombero means crazy fireman.
Rob, you look so sexy with your hair blowing in the wind.
Hold on, wait.
Do it again.
No! The only reason I grow my hair out anymore, well, there's a couple of reasons. First reason is because I'm part Native American, and for centuries, my family was told that they had to conform to white ways and religious ways and put away their spirituality and their culture and their way of living. So now that I am freelance and an artist and photographer, I grow my hair out for my Indian heritage and because I can. I get Dave Grohl from time to time also. If you don't know who that is, it's the lead singer for the Foo Fighters. He used to be the drummer for Nirvana. This is the Mavic 2 Pro.
What are you doing?
Okay, I am making sure that I am not in a Federal Aviation Administration airspace, which would restrict the height I can fly in or if I can fly at all. And currently I am in a safe place to fly. It's biting. Oh, it's biting. Oh, it's biting hard.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh, I like that with the Brookfield behind it.
Yeah.
The water tower. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Hope I don't crash. Hope I don't crash. Hope I don't crash. Hope I don't crash.
What are the other things you do outside of just working with Shutter Zone?
Well, firstly, I have my own business, Rob Darts. I do essentially photography there. That's pretty much the main part of Rob Darts. Occasionally do paintings and drawings. Outside of that, for Rob Darts, I also do freelance work for Habitat for Humanity. I volunteer a lot of time for Habitat for Humanity, doing PR for the Kenosha chapter. I also work for Kenosha County Visitors Bureau. Since I live in Racine, I now do some freelance work for the Racine County Eye.
All right, Rob, where are we now?
We are in Mayville, Wisconsin, population 5,196. I saw that on the sign. I don't know what to tell you. All right, so I have a drone. We got to take aerial photos of this house, the aesthetics behind the house, which is a river, and as gusty as it is today, let's get this done before we can't. So,
Oh wow, I'm just capturing how these it's just swirling around. It's really swirling. It's gusty, so we can handle this. Let's do this. Why do you think drone is important for real estate?
people want to buy a house, but they want to buy a house and where it's located at. So location, location, location. So when you're shooting with drone, you're able to show people the location that it's in. If you're close to a river, if you are close to a school, if you are right off a highway, these things are important to people. It's more than just simply buying the house. Oh, look at that. Dead center on the sidewalk.
When you're shooting a house in this perspective down below, in my opinion, the drone even if it's 10, 20 feet off the ground, to give you a perspective. Waiting for this truck to go by so people can hear me. This is important. It gives you a perspective of the house that I believe that gives you a better look of the house with the roof. It doesn't look warped. It doesn't look like you're shooting it from down below.
Right, yeah, it gives you greater depth.
Yeah, correct. I guess that's what I was going at. Shooting at about 20 feet off the ground, even though you got a drone, you don't have to give them that Google view.
Oh, I'd still be cutting a path down there.
We just got done with the last shoot of the day, and how did it go, Rob?
Went very well.
Yeah.
It went really well.
But Rob's driving, and I'm on the phone, and Rob, I'm like, he turns around, I'm like, Rob, what are you doing? He's like, I got a photo I got to shoot. And I'm like, but I love this about Rob because he sees something in the field, and he just has to capture it. I see that stuff too, and I'm like, yeah, I should do that. And I keep driving. But Rob, on the other hand, he's going to do it.
I'll stop and get
He's
the
going to make it
shot.
happen. So let's see this photo that Rob wants to shoot that's in his mind. Let's get into it. Tell me what you're seeing, because he pulled off on the side of the road, and what are we about to shoot?
There is what's left of a corn silo over here in the barn, and I love the wood pile next to it, so you got a bunch of different textures going on. The drab colors and everything, it's very hauntingly beautiful if you want to look at it like that. I like the dark aspect of it, and the textures and everything. So I'm gonna go over here and take a shot, and maybe we don't get shot by the farmer.
Here at Rob's studio, and Rob, I ask everybody this. I want to know what is in your bag. So he's gonna show us what's in your bag. So what's in your bag?
All right, what's in the bag? Well, when I'm shooting for Shutter Zone Media, what I primarily use is the Canon EOS RP with a converter on it, and it has a 10 to 18 millimeter lens. I also use 360 camera. When I'm doing aerial footage, outside exterior aerial footage, I use the Mavic Pro 2 here. And when I'm actually doing interior photos, I use the Mavic Mini 2. This is the stuff I use primarily for Shutter Zone Media. However, if I'm shooting video also, I have the Weeble gimbal here. Very reliable, like it a lot. When I'm shooting for Robbed Arts and I'm shooting for the Racine County Eye or for visitkenosha.com, some of the freelance work, I have a fisheye lens that I had borrowed from Casey Jones. Thank you very much. That is on loan, but I love using it for the art and everything. I have a 24 to 105 f4. I have a 24 to 70 2.8 that I use. This is a 50 millimeter prime. My dogs are in the background, forgive me. This is a big one. This is 100 to 300 4.0 f4. It's an older lens, so it telescopes. And then this is a 70 to 200 2.8. And when I need to use it, I also have my tablet. And this is my go-to camera. It is the Canon 5D Mark IV. Love this camera. So this is pretty much what I carry with me every day.
So what you're saying, you just need a few things to do what you're doing.
Just a couple. Depends on what I'm shooting, where I'm shooting, and how I'm shooting.
You want to tell me about this one?
They're untitled. I was at a very rough point in my life a few years back, and I needed to just get stuff out and focus on art, and so I had created these.
I see this masterpiece here. Obviously you brought me into the room, so tell me what we're looking at here.
This is an acrylic piece I did a few years back. I like working with very fine paintbrushes or paint markers and making very small detailed lines, things of that nature. I do a lot of tree limbs and
stuff like that. I also have ones that I do usually in Indian ink. Tend to work with acrylics, inks, pencils. One of my favorite photos when the tall ships come into the Kenosha Harbor every 5 years. And I was down there a few years ago at sunrise, took a shot of one of the tall ships that were lined up along the harbor wall there. Yeah, snapped that. It's really nice. I've had it blown up a couple of times. My friend's dad liked it so much he asked for a print of it, which floored me because I just, you know, as an artist, you're your worst critic, so when somebody wants something of yours that they really like, it's very humbling.
I hope you guys enjoyed our adventures today and learning about Rob and how he got in photography. I know I did. I learned a few things, but Rob, I want to know if someone wants to book with you with Shutter Zone, what do they need to do?
You simply go to our website, which is shutterzonemedia.com. You would go to preferred photographers and click on me, Rob Kight. Or you can contact me via email, which is rob@shutterzonemedia.com.
All right, oh, fix your hair.
I do it all the time so I can see where the hell I'm going. Be like Cousin It.